But the kids yearn for horror.
Yeah.
I don't care what generation you're from. The kids, I mean, like you said, Goosebumps, that was 90s kids.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Fandomly Speaking,
Where each week we speak randomly about fandoms. I'm Liza.
and I'm Melissa, and this week we're getting oh so random about the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom, or FNAF, as it's more commonly known.
That's so exciting. I don't know a lot about this one, so it is exciting.
The lore.
There's so much lore. And there may be spoilers for all sorts of different things if you're not familiar with FNAF, so.
Yep. Yeah. And other warning is we are two genx autistic women, and we have no idea where the conversation is going. and Heavenly, who is going to be our very special guest today.
Yep.
Also, our conversations tend to wander. So
Oh, that's exciting.
It's going to be fun. It's just going to be the three of us like ping-ponging against each other.
Awesome.
But it should be a good time. But before we bring Heavenly on, why don't we check in and like, what'd you do this week in geeking? I mean, it was a shorter week because it is Thanksgiving week. But
yeah, so by the time this comes out, we will have had Thanksgiving, which is kind of weird because there was I did a lot of editing this week. You know, I should have been relaxing more. I don't know, editing and cooking. I played a lot of Animal Crossing this week. You know, I have the new island, so I was really excited to do Turkey
and
Day
everybody
for the first
wants
time.
to see it, by the way.
Do they?
Single social
Oh, that's
media
exciting.
post that we've made about it, and it was in the episode that just went up today, and everybody's like, "Oh yes, please do an episode on Animal Crossing."
We got to do it. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did Turkey Day for the first time yesterday on Animal Crossing with my new island.
fun.
And I finished the Philip Pullman His Dark Materials series so that I could once again
read the
start
new
on
one?
the Book of Dust series, so I could finally read the new book. So hopefully by next week I'll be all done with that too.
All right. Wow. You are making progress.
Yeah.
This week I've been, I was watching a lot of Being Human UK. I had forgotten how much I loved the show.
Yeah.
And then I forgot why I stopped watching it. And I've hit the part where I
no.
now remember why I stopped watching it.
Oh no.
But I'm actually going to keep going. I'm going to keep going because I have the time to do that now. And then I finished some books that aren't, necessarily geeky. There was just like something called Park Avenue, which was like a Crazy Rich Asians Korean romance mystery.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. And but I started the book Bride and discovered by Ali Hazelwood and discovered that I actually read this book already. And I literally, because like
if you were there for our convo last week, yeah,
about the Omegaverse, and I was like, no, I don't think I've read. Oh yes, it's all coming back to me now. But I remember liking the book. So
yeah.
But the new book came out, and I already bought it, and so now I have to. I haven't
heard from anyone, and I really wish I could hear from anyone who has never read these things, who just picked it up because they thought it was cute. And just, what did you think of that wild ride that you went? I just really want to hear.
Oh, well, that was me the first time.
Did you not know what was coming?
Getting a werewolf romance. And next thing you know, there's knots, and
Wow, you got an education real quick. Well, I mean,
did.
Technically, I guess that Ali Hazelwood book is like a good way to ease into it. No pun intended. Like, it's a good way to. It's kind of tame for that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
This is tame.
Yes, Ali Hazelwood is really tame. She's like the hallmark of that kind of stuff. It's really, really tame.
The hallmark of the Omegaverse. Now there's a distinction. And I started a new book series. It's the Ruins of the Earth series by Don't Start Playing. I just want to know the name of the author. Hopper and Cheney are the authors, but it's read by R.C. Bray, and I could listen to R.C. Bray read the book.
Well, I haven't heard of that one, so I'll have to check it
near
out.
future, 2027, near future military sci-fi, which
Wow.
for some reason, I love military sci-fi.
Oh, okay.
It's just so, I don't understand any of like the terminology or the guns or any of it. But I love that there's always a plan. They kind of lay out the plan.
Well, there was like a time in my 20s when I was just really into police procedurals. I'm like, yes, give me that case. I want
Yeah.
I don't read
need
those
to know
anymore,
every
but I was
step.
really
That's
into it.
When you get, sometimes you hit a point in your life where like, I just need to watch Law and Order like all day. Just
Does everybody go through that, right? Like, there's just
the security.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. So, okay, so we did some geeking even though we had a short week. Absolutely. And now, without further ado, I am super excited to start talking about Five Nights at Freddy's with Heavenly. Welcome, Heavenly. Yay!
Yeah,
Hi.
so nice to meet you,
really nice
by the
to meet
way.
you guys as well. Well,
so, yeah. Well, we kind of know each other, but yeah. And you're meeting everybody who's watching, so, yeah. So, Heavenly, I met Heavenly on Instagram. Because she loves dolls, but also she loves FNAF. I have learned so much about Chuck E. Cheese, and primarily she is constantly at Build-A-Bear, and I am obsessed with watching all of the plushies go to Build-A-Bear together, and they ride around in the mall. Like, guys, you have to follow her. It is like the sweetest content. It really is.
In that. Do you have a special interest in that, like Chuck E. Cheese and the animatronics and plushies and things?
FNAF kind of does fall into the category of special interest, but my biggest special interest right now, and this is going to sound really weird, is like the 20-year-old K-pop group Big Bang. So unrelated.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's so unrelated that you can't make sense of it. But for many years, my primary special interest was and still is in many ways FNAF. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. I think FNAF kind of like, because I noticed with my son, it's a special interest that kind of like it cools for a minute, but then all of a sudden it's back and you're just like, what?
That is very true. Yeah. And I feel like everything can kind of be related to FNAF.
Yes.
In one way or another.
Yeah.
The baby born in 1987 is a reference. Anything related to 1987 is a reference.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Pizza
is a reference. Yes.
Crappy night jobs as a security guard in a pizza place.
Getting paid $100 for a week's of work.
Yeah.
Or exotic butters.
Oh God.
Exotic butters. Oh my God, I haven't heard that phrase in a long time. So
I don't have it back here, but I have an exotic butters plushie. They sold it at Hot Topic exclusively.
It's possible that Caden has that. That's very familiar.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So how did you get into FNAF? Was it YouTube?
Oh, related. Actually, this is related to Caden. Mm-hmm. So, the first time I saw it was Annoying Orange playing it, and I was kind of interested when I first saw it, but I didn't really go, oh my God, this is something I should really check out, until I saw Caden talking about it, and just the passion that he had for it, and showing his puppet mask that he made.
Yeah.
That was really cool to me. And also I really liked the idea. I was at Chuck E. Cheese a lot when I was a kid because my mom traveled for work. So she would stop at a bunch of different Chuck E. Cheeses to let me stretch my legs. And I went to the town that the original Chuck E. Cheese was in. That was one of my childhood Chuck E. Cheeses.
Oh,
wow. And so all of the kids would say, those the animatronics, they scare me. They're so scary. And I loved horror too, and I liked Chucky, and I was like, well, if they could take the My Buddy doll and make it scary, why can't they take the animatronics and make them scary? And FNAF solved that question for me.
It does.
Absolutely. Before Chuck E. Cheese was everywhere, there was a place very similar called Showbiz Pizza.
Oh, she's very excited about Showbiz Pizza.
I had my 5th birthday party. At Showbiz Pizza, and I sat there terrified the entire time because the big gorilla and everything that was doing it. I'm like, Mom,
my boy Fat Geronimo
I was so scared.
Didn't intend to scare you.
I never heard of this place.
So.
That's crazy.
Showbiz Pizza. Okay.
You really
Can I do a little small info dump about Showbiz Pizza? Okay. So many people think that Showbiz Pizza came out first. Showbiz Pizza was actually started by a guy who was supposed to work for Chuck E. Cheese, but his skills were so good. Another guy was like, basically, you should start your own franchise. So he was supposed to franchise Chuck E. Cheese outside of California, because Chuck E. Cheese started in the West, so it was in California, Nevada, Oregon, but not necessarily in the southern states. So he was supposed to be Chuck E. Cheese for the South.
Yeah.
So
it.
that's how Showbiz Pizza originally came around. But they ended up spreading to California, and they were more successful than Chuck E. Cheese for a time. Chuck E. Cheese actually went bankrupt, and Showbiz Pizza bought Chuck E. Cheese. And when they bought Chuck E. Cheese, they made all of the Showbiz Pizzas into Chuck E. Cheese's.
Oh, that's weird.
That's so funny. Yeah, it was really, really dark in there. You know, I think like when you go to Chuck E. Cheese, it's pretty lit up. It's an arcade, but Showbiz Pizza, it was like nightclub. It was smoky in there because it was the 80s.
Probably how Chuck E. Cheese was back when they had like the cabaret acts.
There were cabaret acts at Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay.
Wait, we might need to do a whole other episode with Heavenly and talk about Chuck E. Cheese. I'm telling you right now.
But that's how FNAF came about, right? Like, kids like me were terrified, and then we grew up and started making content. Like, I remember this core memory that I have of being scared.
Yeah.
And somebody turned that into to something, right?
I feel like sometimes you could look at the animatronics and you could tell whether or not there was a soul in them.
Yes. Yeah.
Because there were crimes that happened at Chuck E. Cheese as well. So it's like... I feel like there were times that the animatronics actually did get haunted. That's my theory.
I think so. Oh, it could definitely happen. So, so can you tell everybody, because I think I know the answer, but I don't want to like mess it up. So the guy who created Five Nights at Freddy's, is he the guy who was originally making Christian video games?
Yes, his video games, he has a very dry sense of humor, so they were like VeggieTales, but like with drier, weirder humor. You can kind of see it with like the exotic butters. It was like those types of games. And he made this game. It wasn't necessarily a Christian themed video game, but it was kid oriented, and it was called Chipper and Sons. And the main character's like a beaver. He kind of looks like Freddy Fazbear here. And his games weren't really popular at all. He was struggling to feed his family. Yeah. And this guy leaves this mean review. He's like, oh, the characters look like scary Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. And randomly he gets this idea. It just pops up into his head. You know what? Bingo! Scary Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. That's what I'm going to make my next game. Yes. And so he creates a game, and it ends up being a smash hit success. I think Fandom definitely drove this game. Yes. All six of the first games were made completely by one man, excluding voice acting.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that. This was him on his own for so long, and that's why. But it proves how haters can push you to do something.
Yes, never and then the support for the fandom surpassed games that had millions of dollars funneled into them, especially in the horror genre. I mean, I think people know FNAF more than they know Silent Hill.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Which is just crazy because that used to be so like the magnum opus of the horror game genre. Yeah, but it just, I remember everybody was, and you know, the way Caden found it was YouTube. People started playing this weird game on YouTube, and it was the jump scare. Yep. I mean, that was, we were all watching everybody, like PewDiePie, you know, Tobuscus was still around back then. And, you know, you'd watch these, you know, Matt Pat and FNAF, you know. Markiplier.
Markiplier.
I watched 8-Bit Games as well, and Pretty Grumpy Bear.
Yep, that's what my daughter found it.
There were so many people, and you know, they just, and then the lore, and then you've got Wattpad and Archive of Our Own. Everybody's jumping in there. And then there's all the role playing. So like when Caden was younger, you know, he was in different like role play discords with his friends, and so I was so confused after a while about what was canon, what was fanfic, what is an OC that's actually one of Caden's friends. I'm looking for a plushie for a character that doesn't really exist, you know.
I have truly never seen a fandom with as complicated a lore as FNAF has. Like, I think even the fans are confused a lot of times because it's like, holy cow, is that real? Is that not? Is it fans? Is it games? Is it movies?
Yeah, most of FNAF 4 is a mystery dust. And also there's a big portion of the community that believes that the lore was actually changed. So Matt Pat came up with like one of the most perfect theories, nice name drop there, called Dream Theory. And in FNAF 4, it seemed like the last 4 games were the dream of the bite victim, the kid who got his frontal lobe bitten off. So he was supposed to be, according to this theory, he was supposed to be the victim of the bite of 87. The game actually
87.
takes place in 1983, so there's actually 2 bite victims, both happening in the 80s.
83 and 87.
Well, yeah, it was the 80s.
Yeah.
It was the 80s. Wow.
The lives of children were expendable.
Yeah, really.
I didn't know where we were.
I have, I actually wrote this to you this way. I'm so funny. Okay, so Caden, when I told him I was doing a Five Nights at Freddy's episode, he was like, I would like to write some questions. And so he gave me this like massive list of questions. When I emailed the list to Heavenly ahead of time, because I figured some of these might need a minute to think about, I said in the email, I said, and now for some questions for Caden. I was originally going to spring, parentheses, trap them on you, but I thought you needed time to prepare. I would just like for the spring trap in the email. Very proud of myself. The spring trap is Caden's
He's
fave.
back here somewhere. Oh, I have this cool one from YouTube's.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
The head switches out so it can be.
Oh my gosh, with his head.
Oh my god.
I'm also
that's
a
cool.
big
Wow.
Scream and Matthew Lillard fan, so this casting was like monumental to me.
All right, so I have these questions, and we can deviate and talk. Like I said, there is pretty much no logical format here on Fandomly Speaking. These questions are, some of them are like a joke on me, but anyway. Okay, so number 1, do you know who Vincent is?
Okay, this actually brought back like memories for me. This is like hearing like I don't know how to put this. This is like, oh God, what would be this would be like remembering a specific scene from a sitcom that you totally forgot existed, that was like a big, to do back then. Like hearing somebody in the Big 25 saying, "Did I hear that?"
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, so Vincent, who used to be the talk of the town, we all forgot about him, huh?
Yeah. Vincent was the name that we came up with for William Afton, because he didn't have a name until FNAF 4 came out. I believe that's when Scott Cawthon released the
purple
books.
guy, right?
So Vincent was kind of like, they drew him in a certain way. He was like a purple guy, because purple guy. That's all we knew about him. He was the purple guy, and he was the antagonist. And he was like an anthropomorphic purple guy, kind of like a country human art style, and he had like a security guard outfit on. And a lot of the fans in the community who liked his character ended up kind of swooning over him, which always really confused me, because he literally ended children.
But I should point out, Heavenly, that there is also a
That's
Onceler fandom. So I don't think you should be confused about anything.
I can understand the Onceler fandom more.
You're like, I get
he
that one.
destroyed the earth, but he didn't murder any children. I guess. Technically.
Technically. He just killed all the trees. But whatever. Anyway. Yeah. So I got laughed at hysterically one day in the car because I did not understand that Vincent and the purple guy were the same thing. And I thought that the purple guy was the one who killed the children. But I got laughed at.
That was happening.
Well, there's 2 different purple guys, if we really want to get into like theological order here. But that wasn't in the
Yeah, so who's the one who stuffed the bodies in the animatronics?
That would be William Afton. Vincent,
and who's the other purple guy?
William Afton did
the other purple guy would be his son, Michael Afton. He isn't purple originally, but have you heard of the Scooper?
No.
So the Scooper would be how this character comes about. This is Inard right here.
Right.
And Inard is in sister location. We have a main character named Baby, and she's supposed to be a protagonist, but she's actually tricking us, and she's an antagonist. And she hates being an animatronic. She's actually William Afton's daughter. Afton family goes crazy.
Yeah.
She accidentally got scooped because she really wanted to go next to Baby. Baby is basically made to end children. She presents ice cream to them, and then she pulls them in and traps them into the suit. And so she...
Yeah.
her restaurant shut down due to gas leaks, supposedly, and she desperately wants to get out of the warehouse that she's in for traveling parties now. And so Michael Afton comes walking in. Since she's in the state of like ghostliness, I don't think she knows it's her brother. And she manipulates him, and then at the end of it, he gets scooped, which means his like guts get scooped out and replaced with animatronic parts, and he turns purple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So for those of us who may not be like, because I don't know as much as you guys do, because my daughter has never talked to me about this. Really? No. So there were two ways that kids were dying, right? William Afton was luring and killing kids, right? But then some of the animatronic suits themselves were spring trapping and killing kids and people as well. Isn't
so there's actually two animatronic creators too. Okay. So this is where Scream comes back in. Because in the movie, because they're making this other character, Henry Emily, who was the co-founder of the restaurants. It was started by two guys, Henry Emily and William Afton, of course. Henry Emily is going to be played by the same guy who played Billy Loomis in Scream. So we're getting a Billy Loomis Schumacher reunion.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Too.
Wow, this is so...
Since you love Scream, by the way, I saw Scream on opening day in the theater. I was 16 years old, and I drove like an hour away by myself to see it. And when I went in, some friends of mine from school were coming out. They had just seen it. They were like, "Oh my god, it's so good!" And they turned right back around and went right back in and saw it with me a second time.
Such a unique. I think it's such a unique slasher. I think it had such a huge impact on what slashers are today.
Yeah,
and it's so meta, but it works so well. Yeah, it's like everything you want a slasher to be. And also, Billy Loomis and Stu Macher are my favorite duo throughout the whole. Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny because that one, that pardon the phrase, it never dies. Like, you know, like I'm not super into horror or slashers, but I did really like I was going to say Five Nights at Freddy's, but no, that's wrong Freddy. Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, I like that franchise, but that hasn't really had the legs of, like, Scream. Like, Scream just caught an imagination at the right time, and it just keeps on coming back. So then we were talking about the games. Yeah, always come.
I always come back.
That's right. I just want to say, Henry Emily created the Freddy Fazbear and the crew, the main animatronics, and then William Afton created the animatronics that like have the scooping ability to kill children. Just put clarification there.
That's
gotta be careful with my kill words here.
Yeah, no, we want to be giving accurate information. So, okay, so right. I was also told to ask you, because now we talked about this, you know, this started with video games, and then over the years, there's been many iterations of video games, and the very second question that Caden had is, what do you think of FNAF World? So can you tell us what FNAF World is, and then...
Okay, so FNAF World is kind of like a return to form for Scott Cawthon. This is kind of more of an area of expertise for him. It's basically like a fighting game in FNAF, like little chibi style, kind of similar to these figures right here. And a lot of people didn't like this game because obviously it's not a horror game, and it's not really what people expected, because they were patiently waiting for FNAF 3 or 4 at the time. I believe it was 4. It was received so poorly that Scott ended up making it free on Steam. However, I think a lot of people do actually enjoy it if you just take it at face value for what it is. But there are some like mechanics in it that a lot of people find to be like a little bit glitchy or unfavorable. But overall, I think it's a fun game.
Yeah, but like, I guess slightly controversial. And then, have you played any of the fan games out there?
I have played, I believe, I've watched a lot of Let's Plays of fan games. The fan games I have played, I believe I played some FNAF fan games on my phone a long time ago. And I believe I also played the Five Nights at Pinky's fan game.
Oh, I forgot about that.
As well as a little bit of Tyke and Sons.
Okay, this is just a question. Okay, are you aware of Grizzlies, the fan game that mostly exists as a way for the creator to share his conspiracy theory about the Democratic Party rigging the 2020 election?
Yeah,
There's a
this
sentence
one
you
is
can
a
think of.
crazy one. They also make
I
the
am
main,
not familiar.
killer character, William Afton. Well, they change him to be like a OC, but they also make his original character into a PDF. If you know what that means.
Wait.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking
there's
about
lot
a
of weird
document
things going on.
format. You are not. No.
No.
Oh, thank you.
Pedophile.
Okay, thank you.
Straight up
Thank
saying
you.
We can
Okay.
say that on here.
Yeah,
They won't
all right.
get.
New.
Sometimes you
new-
can't
new-
say that on
new
a lot
word
of
learned.
platforms.
Thank you.
It'll get your
Thank you.
video.
Okay.
PDF.
Well, that's messed up. We don't. Yeah, that's messed up.
There's so much.
It is.
I just don't even
Ugh.
understand what the thought process there was. And there's also a similar game where they also make the main killer character a PDF, and it's called Dormitibus. And apparently, the creator has also had accusations of being friendly with the children.
It just
Come on,
happens
guys.
so much in this world. Like in like especially like more and more like with like it's horrible like with YouTube and fandoms and it's just
it's like every
somebody
month
else
somebody
has been
comes out with
inappropriately
something.
messaging children or asking for it's really
Right.
messed up. Do you agree with people saying that the series needs to be more graphically violent? Are people saying that?
It actually is a huge conversation in the community, especially with the movies being rated PG-13.
Right.
In general, people are saying the games are getting less scary, and one of the things that some people think is more scary is graphic violence. However, if you've ever seen like The Babadook or Hereditary or any Japanese horror, if you've ever seen any like good horror movie, you know that it does not need violence to be scary. And I think
Yeah. Can't do gore.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be gory. I don't think it needs to be more graphically violent, especially with I know there are a lot of young people who like FNAF. It's always been something that young people really like.
Yep.
And I think we do all just need to keep that in mind because there are fan games that have graphic violence or like things like that. And we can also look to those if we were looking for something like that. I think that we could include more horror and more scary looking like characters. However, I just don't think that violence is necessarily necessary.
Right.
We talk so much. Maybe the people saying that were kids when it came out and now that they're adults, they're like, I could take more. I still like the fandom, but I could take more graphic stuff. I have kids that watch my YouTube channel and they're like, why don't you curse? I'm like, just because you're older doesn't mean my core audience is all grown up.
Come by Fandomly Speaking, where we drop the F-bomb regularly. Your Dr. Squish cares.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. So maybe that's what it is. The kids have grown up more graphic violence, not thinking that there's still kids watching.
I think that also answers the next question about the. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I think some of the people wanting more graphic violence are also people who are kids trying to seem like more adult. I think.
Yeah, that's probably true.
It's hard to tell on the internet how old we are. Who is the better overarching villain? Villain. I cannot speak. Villain. Villain. William Afton.
A really cool villain name for like Powerpuff Girls.
There you go. Ooh, let's do that. So William Afton or the Mimic, and I have no idea who the Mimic is. Solo.
What is the Mimic? FNAF is FNAF. That's literally in the audio. There are a lot of old school FNAF fans that have no idea, or even newer FNAF fans that have no idea what the Mimic is. Okay. I will explain in a minute what the Mimic is, but personally speaking, definitely William Afton. I mean, he literally haunts the narrative. Even when he's not there, you know he's there. Like, he is the villain. As for the Mimic is a character that was originally introduced in the books and then was later introduced in the latest game. And the Mimic is basically a animatronic that was built by a grieving father. Well, in the books.
Oh, wait, I
it's different.
Okay, I remember hearing about this. Yeah.
And he mimics whatever you do. And so, obviously, when he is exposed to violence, he becomes violent because he just mimics.
Oh, okay. Gracious. I could see how that's a problem.
Okay. So FNAF fandom is video games, books, movies and fan-made
Yes.
things, right?
Yes. The official content is the movies, books, and then the games.
Yeah.
And the books also have like there's a lot of them, and there's also like comic books and different like little series that aren't like series, like little series like Fazbear Frights that aren't necessarily connected to the main book.
Okay.
And a lot of the way that we're able to figure out the lore as much as we have has been taking some things from the book, but not everything from the book, because the book isn't considered canon by Scott Cawthon.
Oh, really?
But
parts of it are.
It's really confusing.
Wow. So, what are your thoughts? So out of Five Nights at Freddy's, if you don't follow this whole like world on YouTube and in the video game world, out of that were born a whole bunch of other mascot horror games where you have, what appear to be cute children's toys that have gone bad. So, Garten of Ban, Poppy's Playtime,
Poppy Playtime.
Those types of there you go.
Yes, Huggy.
Yeah, you might know a few things. Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
So what are your thoughts about like this genre and the fact that it has pretty much all been made highly accessible for children? Because YouTube, it hasn't figured out that it's not actually for children. And then people make toys. Toy companies then launch Poppy Playtime toys, and you're like,
Well, the thing is, though, when you look back at, like, basically how I would describe these games is it's more of like a Gen Z, Gen Alpha version of, like, Goosebumps. Children are always going to want something scary, but these games often aren't scary enough to, like, traumatize children. It's scary enough to make them like scared and thinking that Freddy is at like the end of their bed looking at them, but it's not scary enough to be like, ooh, I really shouldn't have watched that, I shouldn't have seen that without my parents' permission. And I think some of these are definitely way more targeted to children than others. Poppy Playtime, the official company, does make animations targeted towards children. But there's also kind of this line between the actual horror content and then these animations where some of the young children, like under 10 who are watching these, don't even know it's from a horror game. Which is really, really odd. And then Garden of Ban is like the Lego Duplo of horror games.
I can't wait until he hears that. That's great.
But the kids yearn for horror. I don't care what generation you're from. The kids, I mean, like you said, Goosebumps, that was 90s kids really into that scare. And Melissa and I have talked a lot about stuff we shouldn't have been watching. Like, kids always want scary stuff.
We need to learn how to be scared safely. Like, I think that seems to be some sort of an important psychological rite of passage. Be scared. I was afraid of the Count in Sesame Street. And it turns out I grow up to become obsessed with vampires. Think about that.
A vampire obsessed. You're so funny.
I was terrified. And when you said the thing about Freddy at the end of the bed, I had a nightmare when I was a little girl that I still remember that the Count was sitting on a swing, not a sex swing or anything, just a swing, just a playground swing, but like I don't know. I'm older now. But it was a swing over my bed. That's what I'm trying to explain. Okay, it was a swing over my bed.
Okay.
People might misinterpret that.
Can I do a side tangent real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
so
please
my
do.
mom's talking to her therapist, and she's talking about how she needs something for her anxiety. And she has ADHD, but she's like, she doesn't want to take anything for that because she used to take Adderall, and she was trying to explain how the Adderall
it makes your anxiety horrible. Yeah.
Yes. And she said, it's like, she was like, well, when I'm on the Adderall, I'm always going. It's like I'm turned on all the time. And then she has to go, not like that, every time she says it. And she couldn't find a better analogy to say it, so she kept saying, not like that. And I'm pretty sure she was making the therapist uncomfortable.
Yeah, therapist is trying to keep a straight face. I know it. I know you don't mean that.
She tells her mom about it, and my nana's like, "It sounds like you were a maniac." You know,
sexy.
Not like that. Not like that. Oh my God, that's so funny.
So that leads me to a question, though, that I don't think you have on here about us talking about kids wanting to be scared, because as a creator for a younger audience, I get so much crap anytime I do anything with these characters. So what do you guys think, Heavenly specifically, what do you think about parents' pushback on all this? Because parents have hated this. They have hated FNAF and Poppy Playtime and all this. Like, they hate it. So I don't think it discourages the kids.
Personally, my thing is, as somebody who watched like Gremlins at like 5, I think my mom did not want me to watch it. Her friend put it on, and I was like fascinated, but I knew it was all fake. I was like, that's the same guy from Star Wars. I think if you don't get introduced to horror, like scary things that are like scary like enough but are age appropriate, if you don't get introduced to the concept of something scary young enough to be able to like deal with the emotion of fear and process it, I feel like it could kind of lead to be harmful in the future. Like when you do see scary stuff, it could be a lot more disturbing for you.
I actually get what you're going for there. Yeah.
I think also another thing I heard in relation to horror is the reason that we like horror is because it's something that is scary that we are subjecting ourselves to, that we have control over. So by subjecting ourselves to like controlled fear, it makes us less afraid in our daily lives.
So, I get that. I can see that, because some people it's interesting. Like I'm just doing a catalog of people I know who absolutely love horror. They're actually very calm people.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to watch more horror. It teaches kids to you get to build some like courage muscles, because after you've had like the scary nightmare, and then and you go back to sleep in your own bed, like when maybe you needed a couple of nights sleeping with mom or whatever, but when you actually like that's like an achievement. That's like showing some courage and bravery. And I think we probably do need to flex those muscles, because life gets real fast, and then real scary happens. And if you haven't built up any muscles or coping, this is brilliant, actually, Heavenly. That was brilliant.
Thank you. So FNAF VHS tapes are like so it started with, in the 80s, there were training tapes for whatever job, as you know, whatever job you would get. And somebody decided to make one of those for FNAF, like similar in vein to the ones that they saw for Chuck E. Cheese, but it's like secretly halfway through turns like scary, and you're just not expecting it at all. And this became a whole genre. Well, analog horror was already a big thing on YouTube. It's like analog horror is the found footage of YouTube horror. And so they decided to include that with FNAF. And it works very easily, because you have these VHS tapes that feel like real training tapes if you were working there in the 80s, or these VHS tapes that feel like hidden secrets that you found about the organization. And for example, in the Baddington ones, they actually use the VHS tapes as the animatronics means to communicate to you, the viewer. And something also interesting about these tapes is a lot of people find them a lot scarier than the games. And I don't know whether it's just because of being desensitized to the games, or because they're freaking scary. And the Baddington one made me, at 16 or 17 years old, genuinely, one of them, jump out of my seat scared. I was like, I needed to be next to my mommy.
Wow.
Completely desensitized to
Are they creepy? Like, are they really creepy? Yeah. So are these like more disturbing in a different way?
What makes these more creepy, I think some of the animatronic designs are more similar to real animatronics than some of the newer FNAF designs, like the toy animatronic, the shiny ones. And another thing about them is generally they really do look like the most uncanny valley versions of characters.
Okay.
And also just like
Yeah.
there's a lot of disturbing imagery. Like, for example, there was one that had to be censored that from like Baddington specifically that got taken off of YouTube because he shows the the remains being stuffed in the soup kind of.
Oh no.
And
Ew.
that's not even the scariest part. It's like
Oh.
it's the horror of not knowing. Because there are long periods where you're left with yourself to think about what's going to happen next.
Oh.
I watched a really powerful YouTube video one time that asked you what's scarier. And he showed a scene from Insidious where the camera pans over, it's midday, and there's like some scary monster man in makeup jump scare. And it's kind of cliche. You kind of expect it. And it just doesn't really make that much of an impact on you. And then he just leaves you with a black screen. Just a black screen for the same amount of seconds. And I felt more scared by the black screen. Because the fear of the unknown is more powerful than the fear of some man in makeup.
Yeah. That is true. You have no information. If you're looking at a black screen, you have absolutely no information. So
your heart starts racing. You're starting to look for signs. And then
the dark,
creepy face starts,
like being afraid of the dark.
Fading in slowly in some of these videos. Or just randomly, you'll see something like disturbing that you didn't even expect. And it's just a type of disturbing that you're just not even prepared for. Like, the endoskeleton shell part where it's crawling on the ground, it's hard to even describe. I do recommend watching them if you want a good scare at time, because the storylines are solid.
Okay, then I need to avoid them because, the count scares me, so I'm probably not okay with that.
So you have a question here about the lore getting too convoluted. And when I was trying to kind of prep today to make sure I wasn't completely just ignorant about everything, I was talking to my daughter because she does know a lot about it, but I wouldn't say she's in the fandom. So I said, how do you know all about what's going on here? She said, because FNAF is always intermixed with lots of other fandoms. So she's in all these other fandoms. She's like, it always comes back around to FNAF in some way. And when she was trying to explain this to me, I was like, this is the most convoluted fandom I've ever seen in my life. What is going on? So do you actually think it's too convoluted?
I love how convoluted it is. Yes, I love how how we got into the point where one of the FNAF books has something called Fazgoo. But a lot of other people don't. A lot of people like the original story where it was technically supposed to end like 3 times. 4 times. There was FNAF 3, FNAF 4, FNAF Sister Location, they said was going to be the last game, but it was never a proper finale. Yeah. And then FNAF 6, which a lot of people actually do consider like the canon end of FNAF because they don't care for the direction that the other games went into after that. Because it gets more into like a sci-fi realm with all of the technology and stays less at that base story. Okay. And there's also a really awesome like exit speech for FNAF in that game that people just want to be canon so badly because it's just so good. But what happened with FNAF's lore, the reason I think it's so convoluted is this game wasn't made with the intention of it having any deeper layers to it other than haunted animatronics. Yeah. There was no lore until the fandom decided there should be. Yeah. In fact, one of the most popular characters, Golden Freddy, was actually supposed to be called Yellow Bear before this fandom decided Golden Freddy was a better name.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can see how they've had a lot of impact. Scott, Scott handed off the games now to someone. Is that person's name Steel Wool? Because that's in your question. It says Steel. I'm like, is that a person's name or
Steel
a new
Wool
form of AI? I don't know.
Okay, I gotta bring up some characters from the newer. Okay, tell me which one you guys think are scarier. It's kind of hard to tell. So this is a good example. So this is why some people don't like the newer FNAF games since they've been handed off. This was FNAF from Scott Cawthon, and then this is FNAF from Steel Wool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Steel Wool was a company. I actually do like Steel Wool, by the way. This isn't anti-Steel Wool propaganda, but the games definitely are a little bit less scary, and they are introducing more scary characters.
Yeah.
But Steel Wool is a AAA game company. It's a smaller company that he worked with to create the FNAF AR games. And then when Security Breach came out, which was in 2021, he worked with Steel Wool to create this massive open world game, FNAF's first ever open world game.
Yeah.
And this game was a mess on launch because PlayStation made them rush. I'm gonna
of
have
course
some Fanta here.
No problem. Have some Freddy Fanta.
You're good.
Yeah. Yeah, but that happens. And that's the hard part for, like, when you do everything on your own, you're kind of set in your own timeline. And then once you move to, now you're working with a company that has a whole team, and then you've got PlayStation involved. They're like, oh no, it needs to be out on this date. Ready or not, it's going.
And so much was cut from it. And there were so many glitches on day one, but it was such a mess that it's like, it's in the hearts of FNAF fans. We all kind of cherish it as being this kind of broken, imperfect thing that a lot of people also didn't like that much because it wasn't that scary. These characters are from Security Breach, but it's one of my favorites. Hopefully this soda doesn't change me in any way.
I hope not, but if it does, we're ready. We're here for it.
I don't know.
Poof!
I feel like
oh God!
I don't know why.
There's the thumbnail.
That's right.
Okay. Theories on the Midnight Motorist minigame. Of course, you'll have to explain that to us too, because I'm so out of the loop.
So the Midnight Motorist minigame. Oh my God. Nobody's been able to find this thing out. It's a minigame. So, prerequisite here: all of FNAF's lore is told basically within minigames. Before it was told in the books, the little bits that we did have was told to us through minigames. So, like, one of them is like a purple car pulling up, and this purple guy getting out, and there's this crying child outside, and he murders her, and then the puppet jump scares us. So that turns out to be like Henry Emily's child, and later we see like the puppet like giving gifts, and the gift is like life to the animatronics. So the puppet is the reason that the animatronics are haunted, because the puppet wanted.
Okay. Wow.
So back to the Midnight Motorist minigame. So there's this in FNAF Pizza Simulator. You own your own Five Nights at Freddy's pizza shop, and you have a day shift where it's kind of more like FNAF World. You know, it's like a fun I forget what they call a tycoon game where you just make as much money as possible, manage your restaurant, get all the endings that you want. But during the night, once you purchase certain animatronics that are suspiciously low cost, you have to defend your office.
Suspiciously.
Wow. That's cool.
I highly recommend playing.
And what's that on? Like, what platform is that on? What platform is that on? Is that like a mobile game, or is that on
you can get it, since it's a FNAF game, it was originally on a computer, but you can get it on your phone, you can get it on your Xbox, you can get it on your PlayStation, you can get it on your Nintendo Switch. It's everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Everywhere.
They were all ported.
Oh, good. Okay. Oh, I have a Switch. Yay. Yeah.
I think it would be really fun to play on the Switch.
I might, I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's too terrifying. Do you think we will ever get a Fredbear's Family Diner themed prequel game?
For Fredbear's Family Diner.
Oh, yes. The
Fredbear's Family Diner is where it all begins.
And we need that, right?
Yeah, it would be a really cool game to have. Honestly, we've seen a lot of flashbacks to it in FNAF 4 because Fredbear is like a nightmare character in FNAF 4, like this. But they're like hallucinations of the kid who got bit. So that's the bite of 83.
Oh. Wow.
And also that's where the Springlock suits come in at. Springtrap was in Fredbear's Family Diner as Spring Bonnie before William Afton.
And that's William Afton, right?
Yes, you are right on that one. William Afton was in the Springlock suit. So what the Springlock suits were is in order to seamlessly transition from, like, you know, the mascot portion of Chuck E. Cheese or even Showbiz. Well, you can tell the difference between the mascot suits and the animatronics. They didn't. The creators of Fredbear's Family Diner didn't really like that. It was non-immersive. So what they made were these really inconvenient, highly deadly suits, and so they were animatronic by day.
They were like a mix, right, between animatronics
and then
and
you could wind the like endoskeleton back with like these spring locks, and they're like springs that like locked in place that kept the endoskeleton from moving. But it's like very temperamental, and if you sweat on it, which I'd be so dead because I sweat a lot.
I would. There's no way I'd be in a suit without sweating. No way.
No. It's so real. And so if like you sweat on it or you move a certain wrong way, there's a bunch of list of things that you can do that can make the spring locks fail. And if they do that, they will crush you and kill you, but in a slow, agonizing way. So William Afton, the child killer of the series, died suffocating on his own blood because his lungs were punctured.
In Bonnie.
See, you know way more lore than I do, Liza. She like even knows which animatronic it is. I'm over here like, shit, I never even knew that happened.
And that's how you came spring.
I didn't understand that.
I'm totally shocked by that because, Melissa, I really expected you to be the most in the know here. Liza, I'm sorry. I know that Melissa has known FNAF since I've known FNAF because of Kaden.
But, you know, there's, as a mom, you take in so many fandoms. Like, over the years.
Right, that's exactly right.
And then some of them go away forever. Like, we have not talked about Homestuck in so long. And I've still got so much Homestuck lore in my head. Overwatch. We don't even ever talk about Overwatch. Please. I know so much about Overwatch. I celebrated people having gay relationships in Overwatch. And then the other one was
I still remember
Undertale.
Remember Undertale? Diva and Nindroid unboxing.
Yes. Yep. See? I mean, we were like so I probably knew these things, but things start just falling out as new fandoms come in. Like the stuff I know about Ed's World. Like there is just a shocking amount of fandom in my head that is not my fandom. So it happens. It happens. You ask your mom. Your mom has forgotten more than you ever knew. I mean, she's forgotten so much. Just...
She still knows the Luna lore. The girl group Luna, they have this convoluted, complex Five Nights at Freddy's level lore. And they're disbanded now.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow. What? So, you know, the toys. So, like, I guess Funko was the first one. I think Funko was probably one of the first places we saw real stuff, unlike all the unlicensed plush and stuff we were buying when there was no merch. We have lots of that stuff, too. So, do you think they should have stayed, like, the primary license, or how do you feel about what Jazzwares is doing now that they're working on it?
I'm going to get my Jazzwares ones for this. So, just for comparison, most of this is from Funko, by the way. That's how dominant Funko was in the FNAF merch world. So, first of all, Jazzwares versus Funko.
Oh.
Right here.
Interesting.
I have mixed feelings about it because for the plushies, I actually prefer like the Funko like bulging eye, like nostalgic classic plushie look, right? Yeah. But then I look at the figures, and this is a Jazzwares figure. The other ones have been mostly, except for the You Choose one, they have been mostly Funko. But what Funko was allergic to was there were characters from an integral game, FNAF 2, the second one in the series, most important game in my opinion. Okay. Also because it's my second favorite, first favorite sometimes. They refused to make any characters from FNAF 2 as, like, 1/6 scale figures. Especially, they also refused to make any merch of, like, the withered animatronics from FNAF 2. So these ones were the ones that were, like, in the back being used for parts.
Yeah, yeah.
And they refused to make merch of them. They made so many... Okay, they made Blacklight Freddy. They made freaking... tie-dye Foxy. I'm not even kidding. They made characters that were dressed as Santa. They made
They
Liberty
went kind
Chica.
of off the reservation. They really did. Yeah, they did.
Chica dressed as a Statue of Liberty.
Why?
But they did not have main characters from the game.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Maybe they couldn't figure out how to do Withered in a fun. I don't know.
But Jazzwares has had the license for like a solid minute, and like the first figures that they put out were the toy animatronics, which they didn't do, and then they also have one where it's the Withereds, but you can switch them between being withered and fixed because it's like an endoskeleton that you dress.
Oh, smart.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
So I can
those
see
are sold out everywhere.
I bet they would be. I bet they would be. See, I think Jazzwares, oddly enough, you would think Funko would really have their pulse on the world of fandom and collectibles. I mean, you really would, but you also realize they're going bankrupt, like they're about to go out of business, because they did, but they don't. But Jazzwares, on the other hand, you know, one of the head guys at Jazzwares is also Jeremy Prodower, is a huge Pokemon card collector. Like, he has a vault, like stuff in an actual vault. Like, he has some of those obscenely expensive Pokemons, and he's a collector of all kinds of merch, right? That's why Jazzwares keeps grabbing all of these really cool licenses. Fandom licenses, and then executing really well. And I think part of that is really because Jeremy's over there like guys, no, it's gotta be, I'm telling you, as a collector, that makes a difference. It's gotta be a certain way. We need to do this better. So they do some really cool stuff over there, I gotta say. I
also like that their animatronics can jump scare as figures.
Oh, cool.
And it's what's also it's really funny. And what's also very cool about it is their mouths open and close, and so you can make it look like they're talking. Which is my kind of videos.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, totally. That is a great idea. So now,
Thank you.
I think you told us, but then you kind of changed your mind. See, you were like, my favorite FNAF game, but then you were like, oh, but that's my favorite FNAF game, but it might be my second favorite FNAF game. If I have to pin you right now, favorite FNAF game.
Ooh.
To play FNAF 6. Well, actually, that's not even true either. Okay. Wholeheartedly, probably, I gotta say, for nostalgia, FNAF 2. For gameplay, FNAF 6.
Okay.
But also, I really like playing FNAF 2 because I can just use all of my fear and just kind of act like a maniac. Because FNAF 2 is played super quickly.
Yeah.
You just go on the buttons, just like button mash, basically.
Okay.
But like, it's like the same commands. And I'm really excited for the movie because it's based off of the FNAF 2 animatronics, which are also like my favorite group of animatronics.
Oh.
I do like the character designs better in FNAF 2 than FNAF 6, but I love that FNAF 6 you can make your own pizzeria and you feel like so immersed in the game.
Wow. So now we've got the second movie coming out, which is amazing because the first movie felt like a little bit of a gamble, right? It's like a 10-year-old franchise. Like, I mean, it does well merch-wise and everything, but then you had a feeling they weren't totally sold on it when they cast Josh Hutcherson. Not that I'm saying Josh Hutcherson hasn't done anything since Hunger Games, but I'm saying Josh Hutcherson hasn't really done much since Hunger Games. Keep in mind that I'm not a PETA fan all the time. Sometimes I feel like PETA is very useless. I'm known for saying PETA is a little useless sometimes.
Melissa's gonna get us canceled.
I do not like the Hunger Games, so I'm just on a totally different wavelength here. I watched that movie once and I hated it, but I was like also 9 or
That's
like
fine.
whatever age I was when it came out. My mom was watching it and I was kind of like spying on what she was watching, and I just didn't really like it, which is weird because I'm a Squid Game fan.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be for everybody. So what did you like? So when you went to go see the first movie, like, did you have high hopes, or were you like, oh God, I hope they don't screw this up?
Okay, a lot of people were a little upset that it wasn't scary enough, but I had high hopes. The reason I had high hopes is because this movie has been in the making for almost 10 years, maybe more. Scott Cawthon pulled out of a whole studio, Warner Brothers, because they didn't want him to follow his artistic vision. They were trying to change the storyline on him. He's the one-man band. Yeah. And so I had a feeling he wouldn't let us down on that. And also Josh Blum, I believe that's his first name. if I'm getting that wrong, I'm sorry. the CEO of Blumhouse, he was also wanting to make sure this movie was good himself when working with Scott, because it's such a beloved fandom.
Yeah.
So
and they get horror. They are the ones getting horror nowadays, really. Like, no, Blumhouse,
Warner
like
Brothers?
Everything that
Blumhouse,
they've put out, like everybody is just always like, yes, like it's good stuff.
Some people in the horror community will disagree with that majorly, because some people in the horror community just do not like most of the recent Blumhouse movies.
Really interesting.
Oh.
There's been a lot of criticism in like whether they're scary, whether they're like storytelling is good, because even the most recent Scream movie mentions, or actually Scream 6, not Scream 7, but how popular elevated horror has become. Movies like Hereditary, The Witch, like complex, non-jump scare centric horror movies have become. I guess they kind of have that a little bit with The Black Phone, but with that trend, there's a lot of like horror movie elitists that think they're better than the Blumhouse classics.
Well, horror is all kinds of different things. That's like saying there's a better kind of comedy.
It really is.
Like, there's a place for everything, and those movies perform pretty well, so somebody likes them.
Yeah, there are some massive fan base for those movies, but there's a divide. There's a cultural divide.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right, are you going to see the movie on opening day? Or are you going to stay away because you don't want to get an infection? Because that was me with Wicked. I was like, what am I doing? Am I double masking because I have autoimmune problem? Like, am I double masking or am I waiting and I double masked in which movies?
Well, I have two problems. Number one, of course, I do not want to get sick, and it seems like everybody's sick around me. And if I do not get like freaking like straight up COVID, I will probably get bronchitis, because every time around this year before 2020, I got bronchitis. It was like a curse.
Yeah, like
somebody always coughed directly on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So maybe you'll wait. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
My unique problem is I have a doctor's appointment that like the day before.
So before we let you go, there's one thing that we need to say. I just need to say to Liza, you still have to watch Interview with a Vampire.
Okay.
Because
please, I'm begging you. Please, we're begging.
Okay. Oh, now I've got you on each side of me.
Please, so we really want to talk about it, right?
Okay.
Honestly, I was
all right. I'll do
first
it.
Episode. I was so like glued to my screen. I've never seen a show quite like it. But if you're not hooked by the first episode, I swear, it just gets better. It just gets better.
It took me. I mean, the problem for me was that I had read the books, and I've read the books so many times, so all these characters were a certain way in my mind. So like,
I could totally understand that.
And then, so like I tried, and then when I came back finally the third time, and I just went, this is its own thing, and now I'm obsessed. And I beg Liza every episode to please watch it. It's not like I'm asking you to watch the Vampire Diaries. I've given up on that. You watched a few episodes of the Vampire Diaries for me.
You trying to get me to watch TV is like it's like pulling teeth. Trying to get me to watch TV.
I actually did watch a few episodes of the Vampire Diaries like when I was younger, and I was kind of like obsessed with Damien for a while. I didn't really know anything about his character, but like I was like for like a minute.
Yeah, I still am, and I'm 58. So but so I mean, I do highly recommend the Vampire Diaries too, just because it is some of the best crappy CW. Just and there's vampires and werewolves and witches, and it's crappy WBTV. I mean, come on.
My personal one has got to be, and I know it's not for everybody, especially if you don't like reading subtitles, but you don't even notice that you're reading them. Strangers from Hell. Korean Hannibal. I still want a freaking tooth necklace.
Oh, Korean Hannibal.
Because
that's Liza's alley right there. Korean Hannibal. Oh, I'm in.
Right? Really? That was awesome. I appreciate you coming on because I learned so much today.
And I'm also still embarrassed. So
there's no need to be embarrassed. I have no problem explaining things. I really like to do it, actually. That's why I have so many videos explaining things. Yeah. I actually forgot to mention this at the beginning because I was kind of like out of it now. So I thought in the introduction part I would be introducing myself, and then we got straight into it.
We actually skipped over introducing you entirely because we're just like that. We messed up. So go ahead.
So I'm gonna be doing something really crazy in December. So for each day of the date, I'm going to be opening a corresponding number or unboxing a corresponding number of my collection. So I will be unboxing one thing on the 1st and 31 things, dolls and figures on the 31st.
Where can we find you? Where can people find all this stuff?
Okay, so that series is going to be exclusive to YouTube. It's going to be a full-length series, and I'm going to be doing 2 videos a day at 10 for Good Buddy. Okay. So 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Mm-hmm. And then you can find me on YouTube. I'm Heavenly's Dolls. TikTok, I'm also Heavenly's Dolls. And Instagram, Heavenly's Dolls.
Managed to get the trifecta. Most people don't. Most people have one that doesn't match.
I know.
I got them before any of them had any,
thank God,
attention at all.
Yeah.
I got them back in, 2019.
Oh, good.
If I get a name on one, I get them on all.
Good.
There you go. You're smart. I do that with URLs.
Good job.
I must have 75 URLs I own because I'm just like, oh, that's a good URL. Yeah, it's 99 cents.
That's also smart.
You never know. Maybe someday somebody's going to want to buy one. I don't know. But thank you so much, Heavenly. I love talking to you, and I absolutely love your content. If you want to smile and giggle, I mean, the trips to Build-A-Bear are adorable, but then there's also lots of lore, and if you like Family Guy, that's another thing. There's a lot of fandoms. Heavenly.
I've been doing a lot of Vocaloid recently. Awesome. Oh, there's one question that you guys skipped over.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What's the question?
So I was and I guess this kind of seems like a stupid question now in retrospect, but I was asking if you guys ever heard of FNAF MMD.
No. What is that?
I wasn't sure. I was kind of also I was also always curious when I watched them if Kaden also watched these. But FNAF MMD. So MMD is like a free animation platform. It stands for Miku Miku Dance. Do you guys know who Miku is?
I do. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yes, my daughter's very much into that.
Another W. So it was created as like a free platform for Vocaloid fans to create animations with, and people made like different models from different fandoms of them. There's Undertale FNAF. Undertale MMD. Yeah. There's Genshin Impact MMD. Anything you could think of, there's probably an MMD of it. Mm-hmm. But one of the biggest genres, other than just the main Vocaloid characters, was FNAF. They were like equivocally linked at one point.
Really? Oh,
yes,
that makes sense.
And they would like make a lot of the characters into cute anime girls, even if they were not. Well, all of them were cute anime girls.
Yeah.
But like, even if they were like girls, they were cute anime girls. Well, especially Bonnie. Yeah. Sometimes they would do like accurate and make like cute anime boys, but a lot of times they would like switch it up.
Yeah.
And one of the most popular versions of it is where they take like all of the Vocaloids and they make them into FNAF characters. So they call it like Five Nights at Mako's because Mako has like short brown hair. Right. And then Miku is actually Bonnie. And they have this really cool faceless Bonnie withered Miku. Like it's a faceless Miku. And she has no arm.
Oh, that's my daughter. She's seen it.
I'm sure Caden has because he loves Miku and also
I'm
like
my daughter.
rhythm games and stuff like that. So I will find out. I will let you know, Heavenly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Me too.
It's super cool because you can just load it up in your computer and you don't actually have to animate it. You can use motions that other people have created with credit.
Okay. Oh, good.
So it was very accessible to young kids. Yeah. As long as they had a computer.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's really
That's
cool.
so cool. Thank you. Thank you so much, Heavenly. This was so fun. I'm so glad we finally did it. To everybody who is a FNAF fan, we want to hear from you in the comments. Lots and lots and lots. And I also want to hear if anybody is going to see the movie, if anybody has seen the movie, because like I said, I'm aiming to get this out the day the movie releases. I'm
also going to be doing daily FNAF content, at least for the time being. Because of the movie release.
Yep, good plan.
So
Definitely. Thank you so much. And then after Liza has finally watched some Interview with the Vampire, we'll have you back, and then we'll get random.
I can't wait to be back.
Good. Thank you so much. Okay, well, so now you know a lot more about FNAF.
A lot more, and that I was educated.
Yeah, and it's just so fun to see how excited people get when they talk about something that they love, and that
we don't know anything about that.
No. I mean, FNAF has been such a formative thing for so many people in that generation. That right, Foxy? You betcha. I mean, that this is not an isolated fandom.
I know for
at all.
you and for me, like, we are so much older that FNAF seems like a flash in the pan, right? Like, it hasn't been out for that long, but for our kids, it's been out since, I mean, this is their childhood, as they like to put it. Yeah.
So, and then the movies come out, 10 years after the game comes out, the first movie comes out, and everybody's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So that was really,
fun.
Really awesome.
It was awesome.
That was good. Thank you again, Heavenly, for laying down the lore with us and taking Caden's questions, because Caden gave us a very specific list of questions. So thank you for that. And Liza, where can they find us on the internet?
All right, guys, we are on Spotify and Apple Podcast and YouTube. We have a TikTok and an Instagram and a Patreon. So check them all out.
Yeah. And until we see you next time,
stay unmasked and overstimulated. Bye, guys.